So, what is CP2000 notice? If you receive this notice from IRS, the first step, don't panic. It's just just a notice. It's not an audit yet, but this notice should be taken very, very seriously because any correspondence from IRS should be stored and treated, properly dealt with. Yeah. So, what does this notice stand for? This is just a typical way of IRS say, hey, we send this notice because we find some like a discrepancy between what you reported and what data that we got. So basically, it's a notice of a proposed adjustments. For most of the time, it's underreported income. So most of the time, throughout my experience, is from all these forms. So sometimes it's missing 1099 net income, so NEC income. So you might say, what the heck is net income? Oh my gosh, this is like a lot of abbreviations. Really, really simple. NEC is short for non-employee compensation. So basically, it's just using English like for example, you do some freelance, you do some like a side gig, okay, and you receive that money. So basically, you are dealing with clients, you are dealing with contractors, okay, and they send this information to IRS. IRS said, oh, they send this money to you, but you know what? You did not report it. So maybe you made a mistake, or maybe you'll be naughty. Okay? So I will just send you notice. Okay, maybe you missed this and you're not working as an employee, but you got the cash, you got the money in some other way. I don't care. But this income is missing. So we adjust a little bit change. Okay? So let's continue. And a lot of cases actually come from forgetting interest income. Okay? So if the 1099 net income is from, whatever the client or employees, client or contractors, okay, they report it. But forgetting interest income, the 1099 int, that's interest, short for interest. Come on, so easy, right? Most likely is reported by your bank or your credit union, just some like a financial institution that are dealing with it. Because while you got asset, you got interest income, okay? And the bank, the credit union will say, oh, they need to report it. Come on, it's a financial institution. They need to do the regular process to report it. And they were using computer to do that, like batch reports. So, you know what? They can't be wrong. Of course, they may be wrong because you can dispute it. But that comes later. But that's basically how IRS got this information. So, oh, you got interest income. Okay? But it did not report it. So, yeah, I suggest you add this like interest. For example, you got a huge savings account in your bank and, all this saving got interest. You know what? Your bank reported through a 1099 int and you did not report it, IRS say, hey, we need to adjust it a little bit. Okay? And sometimes it's about stock sales. This is a very, very common, especially if this is B is for brokerage. Okay? And this is very, very, very common because you know what? You got like a dividend, you got like stock sales, something like that. We got like a 1099 div or 1099 B. B is like the brokerage is like you sell things, or if you like holding that like for a pretty long time and just want to receive dividends, is 1099 div, so DIV. So basically, is you forgot to include the dividends as well the capital gain income from the stocks. Not only just stock sales, most time is stock sales, but sometimes it's dividends if you're like holding that for a pretty long time. So that's pretty much all of the very, very common sources that you forgot to report. But there are like any third-party income, okay, that wasn't reported. So for example, we got like wages. For example, we got like a second job. We got like a W-2, right, second job, or even like a temporary job, or contractor gigs that was reported but like missed by you. Yeah, sometimes if you already retired, you got like a 1099R for retirement, and so basically we got like a retirement withdrawal, right? But they're not included. If you like report income, you do not include that retirement withdrawal. Sometimes we got like unemployment benefits. That's 1099G. So basically, it's like from the government, right? So basically, like you're unemployed, you get money from the government, and you know what? That is also, the kind of income. So the general rule of thumb is just that every party, right? The client, contractors, like pay off rent even, right? The bank, credit unions, they send you money because you save your money in the bank, right? You got saving, you got interest, like you got, if you invest in some investment through investment firm to get a certain product, you invest that, you got dividend income, you know what, invest firm also going to report it because, come on, taxes everywhere. Different parties will report to IRS, okay? So IRS got tons of information, they can fact check it, okay? And even, plan administrators, like state agencies and all that, they will all report to the IRS. And IRS will say, hey, I got all the information, I know everything, okay? And you miss something, and we adjust a little, and we let you know. So that's the reason we send a notice.